That's fine. I don't have a teaching certificate. You can't blame me for your ignorance.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Let's Listen to Discord, your one and only show, the Laughing Scoundrel podcast. I'm Jables, your host, joined by Rimshee.
God damn it, El Presidente.
Hi.
And El Presidente is obviously the racist one here. I did not say several slurs before the stream started. And
Allegedly.
now I'm just
I compiled the lists.
I have great news in the world of podcast politics. Ari Shaffir won the vote. Ari Shaffir is now president of Legion of Skanks. Ari Shaffir Gillis. Me. Yes. Victory.
Good on you, Ari.
I don't know why you think I should care.
Oh no, nobody cares, and nobody in our audience or within this group knows what the fuck I'm talking about.
Oh shit! I've already got the stream up! I realized, fuck, I forgot to go pull the stream up. Turns out I didn't!
Yeah. It was a harsh run, but Ari Shaffir stands for mayhem, and mayhem happened. And it was beautiful. Between four candidates, Ari Shaffir got 48% of the vote.
Good for Ari. Glad to hear it. He's moving up in the world.
None of you give a shit. So it doesn't matter.
Don't know what you're talking about. I'm clearly invested.
I'll send you a link.
Hey, Mickey, no one's saying that Jables can't stand up for himself. I'm just saying that no one's going to prevent me from kicking his legs out.
Yeah, if he doesn't have legs underneath him, it's really no difference from normal.
Hey, I know how to wrestle.
No one said anything about wrestling.
But they should.
We just said you spend more time on your back than... Actually, I don't know anything that spends more time on its back than you.
Well.
Good old lays about Jables.
Never mind. I was gonna make a sexist joke, but
so now you have standards.
I am from here on out.
We'll see how long that lasts.
About 30 seconds. I've timed it before.
No, like 15 minutes. That's when we get record. Yeah.
Yeah, so, any Discord news to speak of?
No! Unless you're part of the Jeff's Discord, but I don't think...
Yeah, we're not getting into that.
Yeah, we're not getting into that. That would be a mistake.
There's nothing going on in Nick's Discord. No, actually, there's something going on in Nick's Discord. For the Discord for Laughing the Scoundrel, at least. Movie night tomorrow night, watching all 3 Bill and Ted movies.
Nice.
Really? All right.
Yeah.
Sounds wild.
Yeah, well, the third one was just released, so we're just gonna marathon through all.
And everybody's paying for it. Nobody's getting in for free. Everyone's doing the right thing.
Of course.
It's all above board, ladies and gentlemen.
We're all just pressing play and pause at the exact same time.
Right. It's a coordinated effort. Everybody's getting together. It's a lot like a cheerleading squad. It's gonna be great.
It's only $20 to rank on YouTube. So.
You too can be a part of that cheerleading squad, but you must join Nick's Discord.
Yeah. Also, Nick.
Oh, and I was going to say, our entire audience is already in that Discord, so it doesn't matter.
Well,
To anyone who's not, now is the time.
what I
Well,
was saying
Mickey's
was,
also the only one here right now.
yeah.
Hi,
Yeah.
Mickey.
But what I was going to say is, like, also by his own admission, Nick is on drugs that he's familiar with, and tonight's show might get a little weird. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, he's not familiar with muscle relaxers. You should pop in for that too, because we might need to carry him.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I can't carry him. I'm so far away.
Yeah, I've been on drugs in the past to kind of like simulate the effect of muscle relaxers. It's just like, man, I don't really feel anything. It's kind of strange.
I love muscle relaxers.
Welcome to Drug Chat, ladies and gentlemen.
I love relaxing.
Really great.
I don't need drugs for it.
I don't.
I do not recommend
I
tranquilizers.
I started
My
doing
own.
creating. Yeah, that shit will. If you drink while doing kratom, it will leave you with a hell of a hangover. Other than that, be fucking cool.
Probably my worst personal drug experience was with trazodone. Basically, it was prescribed to me because I had extremely bad insomnia, even worse than I do now back in high school. And I couldn't fucking sleep. So it's like, okay, like you take this, it'll take about an hour or so, like right before you're ready to go to bed, and it should help. It's like, okay. So I started taking this shit, and it usually took about 2 hours before I started to notice anything. But the problem is that like I would start to like notice something, and then my next memory would be waking up suddenly. Like I'd be in my room and like my lights and my TV would still be on, and I'd have no idea how long I was out.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus shit! What the fuck just happened?
Why is this ShamWow commercial?
Yeah, like I was literally just like losing like blocks of time. Like they were just completely gone from my memory. It's just like, yeah, I don't like this shit. I'm not going to take this anymore.
Sorry, my internet keeps fucking up. I've been going from Hong Kong. 1 second.
Ooh, Mickey's got the real good shit.
Yeah, when I went in for surgery, I had that directly injected into my spine. Fucking awesome.
Hello, Community Showcase. I don't think... Have we seen Community Showcase before?
What?
Community Showcase is now a user in watching the show, but they haven't participated in the chat.
I don't know about them, but I got added to a Twitch streamer list, and they tend to retweet all my Twitch announcements.
So we might get more sad saps peeking and like, nope, this is shit.
At least for graphics, they're pretty.
What the fuck are you talking about?
We've got a big middle finger at the end of a tunnel.
Light. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a holy fuck.
By the way, I am thinking that we should probably just move the articles to behind the window.
I have been thinking about that too.
Yeah. I forgot to talk to you about that last night. Just because the newsroom just looks so nice that
it does.
Yeah. So
I like in a way beginning of the show.
We've discussed it before, but it's like the only like major change, if any, to the newsroom is just like, having me like beating my head against the wall.
Yeah, did we actually do that?
No, we haven't gotten around to it. We
Have
discussed
it.
That requires effort, Jables.
Yeah.
Talk to Brainwash about
like, I'm kind
of
I'm kind of holding off a bit on it because I kind of want to get an updated avatar.
Okay, that's
because I've been using this one for a few years, and it's like it could probably stand.
I've been using this one since I got on Discord.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I got this one.
It's to the point where if I were to change it, no one would know who I was.
You've had that one for about a year now.
This one?
Yeah, Jabel's current one. He's had that one for.
Oh yeah, Jables has had his a while.
Yeah, I've had mine for like maybe 2.5 years now. I commissioned it for my ex-girlfriend. It's a decent app.
Yeah, she dodged a bullet with you on that one.
We're discussing that, Mickey. We have to work out the positioning. As I said, probably going to have to go to Brainwash to do the action work. Because I can't do shit with graphic design.
I'm useless.
I have difficulty drawing a straight line in Microsoft Paint without using an actual tool.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, everybody go and support Brainwash.
Yeah, like the Lesser Saints of Discord logo off to the left, he added, and it looks fucking fantastic, as if it belongs on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, damn it! I forgot how he spells his website. I was gonna type it in the chat.
We're useless and rambling, so it's all good.
Yeah, that's okay.
El Presidente, say something objectionable.
I don't like cheesecake.
You motherfucker.
I know. It's amazing. How could I get away with this so often?
I fucking love cheesecake.
And that's too bad. Your opinions are bad, and everything you've ever said.
My wedding cake is going to be a cheesecake.
I will not be invited.
I make cheesecake. It's one of my favorite hobbies.
You
actually haven't made one in a while.
You make a very disappointing dessert, sir.
Hey, I made a red velvet Oreo cheesecake, and it was awesome.
That's what it is.
Stalling for time.
I want everyone to know this.
Brainwash people, because he definitely supports us, so everybody should support him.
Okay, wise ass. What's your concept of a great dessert?
My concept of a great dessert? I don't know. I'm not a chef.
You have taste buds, don't you?
Hold on. El Presidente is probably a creme brulee kind of guy.
I don't think so.
No, he likes shit on a stick.
Probably not. I just know that cheesecake has very little draw for me.
Don't tell me you're a bear.
What's a bear claw?
Okay, never mind.
Elephant ear?
No, elephant ears are fucking great.
Yeah. That's carny food.
Nah, man, I'm super pissed about that, actually. Because the Indiana State Fair got canceled. But the Marion County Fair, which is, my county, that still went on. Limited capacity, but they still went on. And I was going to go on the last day, get some fucking carnival food, see some of the sights, basically just take a day off for myself. And the night before, the final day of the fair, some motherfucker drives his truck through like one of the like visitor centers and like opens fire on because they wouldn't. And I'm like, Jesus shit, are you serious, motherfucker? So they canceled the final day of the fair. I didn't get my fucking elephant ear, and I'm still upset about it.
I'm sorry, my dude.
Yeah, fuck that
Sir
guy.
sounds like he's ready to stab someone.
Would stab that motherfucker. There are children in that fair, and you're firing off guns and driving your trucks and shit? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, Rimshee, you said that like it would be wrong for him to stab that dude.
I'm just making a comment. He's ready to stab someone. That's what it sounds like. I can tell what his emotions are.
You know what, sir? I wish the Good day could keep rolling.
Congratulations, Rimshee. You're about as useful as Deanna Troy on the next generation.
That's a lie. She at least has some story matter at the end of the series.
Her only benefit is that her emotions. So she's good. So she's good for negotiations to discover whether or not somebody's lying. Like,
well, once they started putting her in uniform as opposed to having her in the non-uniform outfits, she started actually having some benefit to the storylines. She had character development. Before that, completely useless. And even after she started having some relevance, she was still irrelevant.
I feel like she was very important before she was forced into that uniform. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say much more. But
yeah, that's because you wanted to look at her boobs. To be fair, she that was the goal of those dresses.
Yeah. She comes from a very sexual species.
We're talking about Deanna Troy from Star Trek: The Next Generation. Yeah. Also known as the chick who is best for reading emotions.
Yeah, it basically wasn't until she started taking the command exams that she had. Once she started doing that, she had some character development. Before that, it was just, oh, someone attacked me. I have boobs. Oh, I can read their emotions. I have boobs.
As a character,
she was a ship therapist, and she was also the moderator for negotiation, which I think is a perfectly acceptable thing for her to do.
I'm just saying
it was fine, but she had no real character development.
As an overall character, she was completely inferior to Dr. Crusher. Can we agree on that?
Dr. Who?
Dr. Crusher.
Oh, God, yeah.
As a character, absolutely, yes.
Beverly Crusher is fucking awesome.
I am going to keep my opinion to Beverly to myself. Not that it's negative, it's certainly not.
Independent women in sci-fi. Nobody looks to TNG.
Yeah,
or Star Trek series. Fuck you guys.
Well, at least until CBS decided to let a certain fuckhead reinvent Star Trek.
STD doesn't count. It's a bane on our existence.
Yeah, I'll just say, like, Michael Brennan is probably one of the worst, if not the worst, fucking character in the history of Star Trek. Fighting.
Yeah.
Okay, so my parents are long-time Star Trek fans. They have communicators. They used to cosplay and shit like that.
Do they have their own tricorders?
My dad does have a tricorder. But he just has it. He never used it when he used to dress up. But he had the wrong uniform to use the tricorder.
So different generation of tricorder to the uniform. I see.
My parents are semi-fluent in Klingon. Let me put it that way.
Hey, motherfucker.
That I won't judge that at all.
Yeah. And
we're talking about nothing, Rimshee. We're talking about fucking Star Trek.
My
nothing that matters.
My parents watched Star Trek Discovery, and my mom was like, "Hey, just so you know, like the Amazon account that we shared with you is linked to our CBS account, so you can watch Star Trek Discovery." And I was like, "Yeah, what did you guys think of it?" And my mom said, "It was okay." And that's a negative. I'm not watching that, Mom. You're because you love Star Trek.
Yeah, I just saw clips of that show, and like when I saw the part where like our hero is like contacting fucking Savick, like from across the galaxy, it's like that's not how fucking mind melds work.
Yeah.
Also, why is it that Savick, who is constantly antagonistic towards his own son because he was half human?
I haven't watched STD because of my mom's lackluster description of it. She loves everything else Star Trek, pretty much, except for that.
Hey, Larry!
Except for the new stuff. Larry's here! Larry!
And Larry is on an 11-month subscriber streak. God damn.
Yeah, Larry's been subscribed since month 1. So that means next month we've been monetized for a year.
Nice.
Has it really been that long? That's weird.
Yeah. Star Trek was great. I miss Star Trek.
Yeah, sorry, Larry. We're reaching the end of the Star Trek discussion. If you wanted to see that, you can check it out on the YouTube later.
Yeah, like you could ask people in like the community Discord, like bar and shit. Like, I just came into general chat one day, extremely pissed off because I saw the trailer for Star Trek Lower Decks.
Wait, Star Trek Lower Decks? What's that?
Oh, have you ever wanted like really low rent, badly done Rick and Morty with your Star Trek? Because I sure as fuck didn't.
Oh.
Yeah, it's fucking bad.
I don't like your description. I'll watch the trailer, come to my own conclusions, but your description, I trust you. Your description is probably accurate.
In fact, we can pull up. Let me see. I'll see about pulling up the thing and tossing it in the back screen. Hold on.
No, don't bother, because I don't want to play the play pause game.
All right.
Just like link it in the chat or something. I'll watch it later, but I'm already sad.
Yeah, it ain't good.
It's not.
Based on the talk that we've already been having, and then Sir giving it that description, yeah, I'm sad already.
Okay,
so
there was an episode of TNG where you actually get to see junior officers having conversations in their day-to-day life. They're like normal people. Star Trek Lower Decks, or whatever the fuck it's called, is basically just, let's get into shenanigans! And, you know what, why not? We'll put it in the Star Trek universe. Or at least pretend to.
What they should have done is Star Trek, okay. Based on, like, the premise of the show, should have just been Seinfeld on the Enterprise. That's how you do Star Trek Lower Decks.
I could see that, actually.
That'd be great. I'd watch that all day.
That could actually work.
Yeah, but like this shit, no.
Not worth it.
Yeah, Seinfeld was all about just living a life, and things just kind of happen just by the factor of living where they were at in New York. So,
yeah, and anytime someone wanted to leave the show between seasons, it's pretty easy. Just go, yeah, they got a transfer.
They got a transfer. No, they moved away. Rent was too expensive. Whatever. Doesn't. Yeah, but on the start, they got a transfer. No, they decided to retire and do some work on this planet for us.
And so like what I've seen of it, like it's basically like three things. It's like, okay, it's like we've got Star Trek, right? It's like, okay, if we got Star Trek, it's like, okay, let's have a similar sort of art style to Rick and Morty. It's like, okay, and it's like, yeah, it's like there'll be lots of graphic violence and like swearing. And it's like, and it's like, oh yeah, we're gonna have humor all throughout the show, and it's gonna be on the level of like modern day Family Guy. Just stop.
So far, what I've heard is it's Star Trek meets Rick and Morty meets Futurama meets.
Don't compare this shit to Futurama. Fuck off. Futurama was actually good.
Oh no, Futurama is fantastic. Let me finish. The final bit is that it includes is Family Guy. They put it in a juicer, and then they let all the juice out, and they set that off to the side, and then they just go ahead and use the pulp. You know, the bit no one wants anymore.
Here's the fucking thing. And we can have a discussion about this. And I'm slightly shifting gears here.
Yeah. I want to talk to you more about it after you've seen the trailer on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's
I don't think I want to watch it.
No, you don't.
I think Seinfeld is the reason reality television exists.
You think what?
Yeah, I can kind of see where you're coming from with it.
I think Seinfeld is the reason reality television exists.
Maybe not directly, but at least in part.
Do you want to expand on that at all, or?
I mean, you can, but shit, I gotta take a piss.
I forgot. That's where I came up with this theory, anyways.
Go ahead and expand on it. You want to?
Yeah. So Seinfeld was just showing like a slightly over exaggerated version of New York life, and so but all it dealt with was just like everyday things that New Yorkers or people in general in big cities deal with. It had nothing. It had no point. Had no system. It was definitely a show about nothing, Larry. But it being a show about nothing was just showing them living their lives.
Had no specific story.
It was heavily scripted, yes, but it was also the #1 TV show of its time. And when it ended, they ended it on purpose because it was still #1 when they ended. And then there's a lot of people that wanted to replicate that. And so reality TV shows were born. Because, yeah, these are going to be shows about nothing, but will follow real people doing real things.
To be fair, I feel a huge factor was the fact that they could just pay a camera crew and they could get rid of the writers and the stage actors and all this stuff, and it's just
they're still writers. There's a lot of shit, a lot of manipulation that goes on. So there's a lot more producers instead of just writers.
But it's still cheaper than a standard TV show.
Yeah. It's like, when Addy was here like last week, he was talking about how he freaking worked on one of these shows.
Mm-hmm. Larry, people were watching because the writing was funny. People, I'm not saying that Seinfeld was wrong with what they did. In reality TV shows went the same exact route.
But Kramer said something racist to the stand-up, so we can't talk about it.
I'll defend Kramer on that. He was being heckled and then just he was being heckled a lot by a table full of black people, and he just blew his fucking lid and started dropping the N-word. Didn't know he was being recorded. So I don't know. Was it wrong? Sure, yeah.
I believe it should end somebody's entire career.
Yeah,
people make mistakes.
Yep, people make mistakes. Maybe he was having a real shit day.
Being a fucking stand-up comedian ain't.
Sometimes I shove my head into my pillow and yell the N-word too because some black guy tried to mug me. Things happen.
I would be lying if I said if a group of extremely loud and really obnoxious, usually drunk black people wander into my store at 3:00 in the morning, that I don't think it in the back of my head at times.
Let's say, never mind. I'm not going to get on.
Yeah, probably not a good idea.
Most of the drunk, but as I say, this accounts for everybody. You hate just annoying people in general. Most of the drugged up or drunk, bumbling assholes that show up in my store white, and I hate all of them too.
It has nothing to do with their race. It just so happens that they're obnoxious.
For example, this happened to me at the store recently. I was behind the counter, getting my cookies and stuff prepared, because cookies is one of the things that I do in games. And this Latino guy comes walking into the store, and he walks right past the counter and goes to open the cooler, like he's going to go and walk into our walk-in cooler where we keep sodas and tea and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, "What are you doing?" And he looks at me and he points at the door, and I'm like, "No, you can't go in there." And then he's like, "Agua." I'm like, "The fuck is he talking about water for?" I'm like, "No, you can't go in there." And then he grabs around his crotch and starts going. Psst. I'm like, "Oh, the restrooms are that way."
Okay, I was going to say to be fair, there's a lot of stores that have a little walk-in that customers are allowed to walk into.
He points at the cooler again. I'm like, no, over there. And he wanders over to the restroom. I go into the back to do a few dishes. And when I come back out, he's standing in front of my donut case. He's just staring. And I'm like, okay. So I walk over to him. I kind of have a feeling of where it's going. And I walk up and I'm like, "Can I help you, sir?" He's like, "Coors Light?" "You can't buy alcohol right now." "Coors Light?" "You can't buy alcohol." Coors Light. And I'm like, oh, geez. So he finally gives up after I tell him for the 4th time that he can't buy alcohol. But I see the direction that he's walking in. And sure enough, he goes and pulls a fucking case of cider out of the cooler, and it's just like, ugh.
Yeah.
I fucking hate drunk people.
Yeah. Every time I've been in that situation where, like, somebody at a store or a bar is just like, no. Like, I'll go into a store and I'll be trashed. I know I'm trashed, but I'm taking a shot, you know? And they're like, no, I can't sell you beer. I'm just like, okay, that's fair enough. And then I'll just buy like a soda or something.
The fucking arguments that people will get into when you tell them they can't buy something.
There's been a couple of times where I've been perceived as more drunk than I actually was.
Mm.
And I've been kicked out of like a club or a bar or something. And like they're like, no, you need to leave. And I ask them why, and they don't give me an answer. They just tell me I need to leave. And just give me an answer. Tell me you think I'm too drunk. Do something like that. So I'm not sitting there wondering, like, did I accidentally elbow somebody in the face and not notice? Like, what's going on?
The thing is, like, pretty much all cases, like, I actually give these people an answer for why they can't buy it. It's like, in the state of Indiana, it is the law that you cannot purchase alcohol after 3 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
It's state law. I can't violate.
In Washington State, if they think you're drunk, they can't sell you.
The same thing applies here. It's like between the hours of 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. on the weekdays, it's a bit different on Sundays. But on the weekdays, between the hours of 3 a.m. and 7 a.m., you cannot purchase alcohol anywhere in the state.
Yeah.
And if I do that, and like you'll have people like try and bribe us, be like, they'll like pull out like $20 bills. Like, come on, man, I just need. It's like, no, motherfucker. If I do this, for one thing, as I said, it's illegal. The store will lose its liquor license. We won't be able to sell alcohol here at all, and I lose my fucking job.
Yeah. Plus, not to mention, cops do send in
fines.
Like liquor control boards do send in undercover people all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
some people just don't take no for an answer, though.
I fear confrontation so much. I just don't give a shit. You're not gonna sell me beer? All right, I'll grab a soda.
Like I had this one lady, basically, girl working the register. She's not that. So this lady comes in. She's like, trying to buy a couple of, I think they're like Mike's Hard Lemonades or something like that. And the girl behind the counter is like, I don't know if I can sell you this. And the lady's like, well, if it rings up, it's okay, right? And like I could see her hesitating, so I start to walk over there. And as soon as the lady saw me, I could tell by the look on her face that she knew she was fucked, but she was going to try and get out of it anyway. So I'm like, what's going on here? And she's like, she's trying to buy us, like, what time is it? It's like, looks at the time, it's like, yeah, we can't sell it. She's like, what? Are you for real? I'm like, yeah, it's against policy. We cannot sell you it now. She's like, man, like, and this is where the sob story starts. It's like, today's the anniversary of a kid dying who, like, he was my son, but, like, I treat him like his son, and, like, I really need a drink right now. And I'm like, and you can get it someplace else. And so when that didn't work, that's when she got pissed. And she's like, "Man, motherfucker, you don't know me. Like, I ain't on no fucking drugs. You don't know me." And I'm like, "Who the fuck mentioned drugs?"
Yeah, it's. I understand why it can be frustrating. I had a situation at the local gas station. I went to buy some beer, and this was yesterday, and like they're like, "I can't ring this up. This is an 18-pack." Like, why does that mean you can't ring it up? Oh, the scanner's not working. Okay, well, it says $12.99. And he's like, "No, that's for a 6-pack, not an 18-pack.
$12.99 for a sick fuck.
Exactly. That's what I said. I was like, no. That's the standard price for an $12.99 is standard for an 18-pack. Plus, they had a Rolling Rock branded price tag on the shelf for $12.99. It's like, no, $12.99 is the same price at the other store right across the block. And he was like, no, $12.99 is for a 6-pack. And I was, have you ever bought beer before? Do you know this beer? This is a cheap beer. This is Rolling. It's $12.99 for an 18-rack.
No, I will not be the anime couch, Larry, regardless of whether or not I'm secretly.
Yeah. No, we're working on changing things up, Larry. It took us so long to get that done that it's going to take long for us to rearrange things.
We're lazy.
So, like, to reference the point that Jacobs was making earlier, kind of like Seinfeld, we've rambled about nothing essentially for 45, 50 minutes.
You know,
I just think you should need to hear anymore, Presidente.
I haven't talked to Brainwash in forever. And for the first time ever, we've kept El Presidente silent for like 45 minutes.
I've been listening and enjoying like the rest of the peoples.
No one pays you to listen and enjoy.
I'm listening and enjoying myself.
Yeah, but no one pays you to do that.
And they're not paying me to talk either.
I mean, he has a point, but
that is fair.
That could change at any time. Wink. Anybody want to just throw 10 at the stream? I'll talk more, I swear to God.
What the fuck are you talking about? Nobody super chats this show.
It could be
we also don't have a Streamlabs set up. And
yeah, so they can't do it even if they wanted to.
They can do bits.
Yes, bits. It's the cryptocurrency of Twitch.
Yep.
We take our payments in the bountiful numbers of subs that Mickey deems to throw at us.
By the way, thanks for that, Mickey, but, you know.
We love you, Mickey!
Yeah, just prioritize yourself, Mickey. That's all we ask. We love the support, but prioritize.
Yeah, we've had that discussion. Now we're reaching a low. By the way, 45 minutes of just shooting the shit. Great job, guys. High five.
Yeah, I'm not depressed. I thought it was a conversation.
Yeah. No, I love it. No, it's like we always say, the article's secondhand when we can't come up with anything to talk about. So
yeah, like fucking last week. last week was fucking great. We barely covered any articles last week.
We covered 5 last week.
It was so good for me because I didn't have to find so many articles. I only had to find 3.
I mean, you could always simp for Nick like you usually do.
Why would I simp? I
He's
have
the one that mentioned it.
Did I mention sipping? Yeah. I don't think I did.
Larry, asshole, read the fucking chat.
Yeah. Yeah, Larry, we've actually talked about this off air a bit. We would rather money go towards Nick than to us at this point.
I don't think we said that.
Yeah, we're all doing okay.
Nick we all have jobs. We're all making a fair amount of money for our stations in life.
I passed my state cert last Thursday, so I'll be getting more money here soon.
Yeah, it's like we're all doing okay. Nick's only income is internet stuff, so we'd rather he make money. That's part of the reason why we don't stream.
Larry, it's not simping if you're not given a choice.
It's not like she can get the leash off.
Yeah, honestly, I think Rimshee is being held hostage, but I really like Miss Rimshee, so I don't mind.
Oh, so you're an accessory?
Yeah.
Technically, so am I. I'm an accessory to my own hostage.
Yeah.
This.
Stockholm Syndrome.
And you know what? I'm okay with that. They're a great couple. I've hung out with both of them in person a few times now. And, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, not trying to get all mushy and shit, but like, I'd love fucking hang out with both of you guys if I ever get the chance.
Well, if you ever find yourself able to come over to the West Coast, pick either Portland or the Bay Area. Or not Portland, pick either Seattle or the Bay Area.
I was gonna say, I ain't going to Portland.
No. The only way we're going to Portland is with a hunting license.
I'll go to fucking Seattle though. I don't mind.
Yeah, but if you do, let us know. Because I'll need to make time to get a flight up there.
I want to get a different job than what I'm start making more money than I am right now. So my finances are better secured to actually do traveling. But yeah, if I ever get to a point where I feel like I'm pretty secure, then I'll start moving around the country.
Well, let's talk more off air. Once quarantine's over, I'd be willing to pitch in some money for you to come visit.
Well, yeah, like once quarantine's over, like obviously, like the first thing that's probably going to happen is that it's coming to end. So,
yeah,
like we've already discussed that, so he's probably going to spend about.
We ain't gonna get in the way of some hanky panky.
No one said it was going to be that. Not ruling it out. No one said it was going to be.
Immediately goes to not ruling it out. We know who you are. We know who Addie is. You don't have to explain shit to us.
Skull. All right. I'm going to correct your sentence right here. Sir, don't get mush on me. You're supposed to be an asshole to me.
Skull, what made you think I was talking to you to begin with?
It's not post. It's supposed.
I'm talking to fucking Jables and Rimshee. You weren't even in the conversation.
So I just had to correct that sentence.
Yeah.
Yes. No. Okay, Larry. The problem is that Skull is in school and he needs to know these things.
No. I do not accept that fucking excuse. If you can't go back and fix your own autocorrect on fucking mobile, you're just being lazy.
Hold on. He said he's on mobile dick.
How's your dick mobile? Do you ride it around like a Harry Potter broom?
No. The dick that he's sitting on, James.
I mean, considering there's no comma, it obviously means he's not calling you a dick. My hands are busy.
Are you jerking off right now? Don't do that.
God, your standards are low, Skull. Dick, the great.
The Great Dixby. Oh, Skull and Larry. It's not about being a grammar Nazi. It's about being able to form a proper sentence.
Yeah, we call this shit out in articles that we read.
All the time.
Every fucking article that we read.
Yeah, we'll just be reading a sentence like, what the fuck sentence structure is that?
I used to deal with this all the time in my personal life, too. My younger brother would be sounding out a word and then say some other word completely irrelevant, but it has like two sounds in common. So like you'd get t, s, t, sh, t, I, o, onomatopoeia.
These are just your sex noises at this point.
I'll call Miss Rimshee right now and ask about your sex noises, Rimshee. I'm not against that.
You know he will.
I know he will. He's done shit like that before. Unexpected text from Jables about my sex noises.
Okay, we lost Rimshee. Damn, even Mickey said that was cringy. Fuck. That was so bad that even Mickey can't be nice to you about
it. But Skull, we're not chastising you. We're honestly trying to help you because you're going to get fucked over by the rest of the internet if you keep typing like that.
I'll fucking chastise him. I don't give a shit.
No. There's a difference between critiquing and doing helpful pushes and chastising. Really, Skull? You don't care if people chastise you on the internet? Do you really want me to go that route? I'll chastise you.
Maybe that's his kink.
Like, we've been going easy. I can start pulling the
we could always stop pulling punches.
I love you, Skull. I don't want to do that, but if you want me to go ham on you, then yeah.
Yeah, we're offering you an out. Don't make us hurt.
We're just trying to help you with your spelling. That's it.
You can win. It is within your grasp, Skull.
We are literally just trying to help you with your spelling. It's not that. It's not that big of a deal.
Jimmy Parsons. Hello, Jimmy Parsons.
Yeah, well, I posted a link to the show in the Laughing Scoundrel Discord. Welcome, Kimmy.
Mm-hmm. Got a couple of people in here that I don't recognize. And there's the sub. MickieFickie gets the 2-1 sub to Kimmy Parsons. This is the 24th gift sub on this channel for MickieFickie.
Yeah, we have so many. We actually have quite a few just lurkers. I don't like them.
Yeah, like fucking Tingu Tio and Lurks. I have no idea who you people are.
Yeah, toss in a hi in the chat, please.
Like
Commander Root.
If you like listening to the show, just one quick little interaction with the chat actually helps the show grow. You'd be surprised how much that interaction will help.
Like, there is one that I do know because like they watch a streamer that I watch. I'm like, they're currently in that streamer's chat too right now, and that's Commander Root. But they never fucking comment on anything ever.
I'm talking to you, Aten, Lurks, Pingatio, and Vinpair.
So like Vinpair I've seen before, but I don't think I've commented.
Yeah, never seen that 10 comment either.
At this point, like, I'm starting to wonder if Commander Root isn't just like a fucking bot or something. Because again, I have never seen them comment on anything. And they are always present for that other streamer's streams. Doesn't matter what time of day it is, they're always fucking.
I think they probably just have us open in another chat or another tab.
And like the only reason I can think that they might be here is because they somehow followed me over here from that stream.
Oh, that's cute.
Which, you know, like, I don't know, like,
you know, they could have randomly just discovered us. Okay, yeah, that's probably not what happened.
Well, I've been growing a random following because of the Sixth and Jump podcast that Ari Shaffir, Soder, and Big Jefferson do. Because I constantly tweet at them. Yeah, so I've been growing a really weird following. Maybe they've seen the tweet. Maybe some of those are the people. They just don't want to participate because they're being dicks.
Yeah, like that dude though, he's never commented on anything that I can remember. So
you just know he's around.
If you're not a bot, fuck you, Commander Root. I don't like you.
That's rough.
Anyway, I'm a lurker too, but at least I'll fucking let people know I'm there. Dick.
I'm perfectly happy with all of you.
No one asked you.
Keep coming back. Lurk if you must.
Are we?
Hi, Kimmy.
Are we here? Are we alive anymore? I have no idea what's going on.
I don't know. We've been going for just over an hour now. Amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a fucking lurker, and I'll hate on lurkers all I want, Larry.
Yeah, I'm a lurker too. I'm always lurking in the chat here.
Mean that you never have to say anything. Hey, how's work on that bingo card going?
Nobody gives me suggestions. By the way, if you guys want to give me suggestions for bingo card stuff, for
come on, guys,
like things that happen regularly, treat it like a drinking game, something like that. Just think about things that you would input for a drinking game and join the Discord and toss it into bingo suggestions. Also, within those bingo suggestions, you could also do Laughing Scoundrel bingo suggestions. I'm working on rewriting the script for Donut Operator's bingo card that he has, and being able to do the same thing, so it's extremely interactive, and you just have to click the spaces, and you have the card up and all.
Yeah, Donut's got a great fucking system.
Yeah, he does. I've been chatting with him and working with his script and whatnot, but I just need suggestion.
Well, if you've been chatting with him, why don't you try and get him on?
Because Donut's a busy guy.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you can't try.
He's got his own streaming channel, and he's got his own private business.
I'm aware.
He runs a skate shop, has his own streaming channel, has a family, has and he does the vlog channel on top of that he needs to do constantly. And
yeah, Donut's a busy motherfucker, man. I do not envy the workload that man puts himself under.
Oh, Larry, that's fine if you don't like his hot takes anymore. It's okay. It's fun. I don't really watch his videos that much anymore either.
I still like
doesn't mean I don't like him as a person. Same reason why people get pissed off at me for still being friends with both Jeff and Nick at the same time.
Filthy fence sitter.
Oh no. I've only constantly encouraged those two to talk to each other. Oh no.
Yeah, that's kind of shit that we don't want to.
Yeah. I really don't want to. It is what it is.
Yeah. They're big boys. They can work it out if they want to. Or not.
It's not.
So, yeah, I know. I know.
Larry, his feed isn't only. It's everybody looks to him for. Everybody looks to Donut for his take on police shootings, so he's kind of forced to do hot takes. It's not.
You know, like, I'll give Donut, his due credit. Like his takes on those sort of things tend to be a bit more informed than your average mindless Twitter zombie.
Yeah, and I disagree with a lot of his takes. Oh, I don't follow him on Twitter, so I don't know. I don't know about that one.
Yeah. Like,
I go on
not
Twitter.
Get into anything political.
I go on Twitter for about 5 minutes a day. At the most.
Yeah.
And most of that is yelling at Dan Soder, Ari Shaffir, and Big J Okerson about how Six and Jump podcast is not available in the US. So
as I like, I never signed up for Twitter. I dodged that bullet entirely.
The only reason I signed up for Twitter was to have an extra entry into this contest by Jay's 2 cents. It didn't help, but at least I had a good reason.
Skull, what the fuck are you talking about?
Lurks dose a live stream. What is the highest thing on Twitch? And Commander Root is I don't want to talk about it.
That offered no context or understanding whatsoever.
What is Lurks stream sniping us right now? Is that what you're talking about?
Also, I was looking into it, like, Lurks is also in the fucking user list for that chat on that other streamer that Commander Root came from. So I have a feeling they came from there too. We get enough people in.
Yeah. What are you talking about, Skull?
So you literally have not cleared up any.
To be fair, Presidente isn't talking. I'm going to drag Skull in.
Damn it, man!
Skull, use your words.
Works does a live stream on who is the highest on Twitch right now and what is running on the highest right now. Like, say, just chatting is the highest, and Minecraft's like 24. And Commander Root has some creepy ambiance music and deaths, top 10 deaths, current event harvest. I have no idea what it is.
What do you mean? What like in the highest Twitch streamers?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the problem?
It's creepy. Just saying.
Okay.
Not that creepy. There's Lurks automatically implies a lurker. I don't mind lurkers.
Okay, what did I miss?
I just wish they would interact with the chat once in a while. That's it. Not that big of a deal. But as long as they're counted as viewers, it just means that we're opening an extra tab. And I appreciate that. Because that's an extra viewer. It's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
Is it what did I miss?
Commander Root has creepy music. So what?
He's running a program that is... I don't know how to put it.
If you don't
Is he
something, then you don't know enough about it. It's
like, did you fear the worst for Commander Root? Is he going to be taken apart in front of his camera?
Is he trying to hack our channel?
Is he being hacked to death?
It's a lot of numbers, and I have no idea what he even has on his stream. It's some type of coding, weird type of coding.
Really?
Okay. According to his own channel, I'm looking at it now. 24/7 statistics harvest.
So he's just showing you statistics.
Yeah. That's all it is.
Okay. Yeah, not that big of a deal. It's I don't really give a shit.
I just found this easier explaining to you than just typing. I kind of cut my finger.
Yeah, I find it much easier for you to use words because your typing is trash.
God awful. I'm working on it.
It leaves
on it harder.
I am also half brain dead. Or
yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's like they're trying to stream snipe us or anything like that.
Yeah, like I'm looking at lurks, and it's literally just like live Twitch.tv stats. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Damn. I had high hopes.
Yeah, let me guess. We're number 4,782.
I'm not gonna go and stare at that screen for that long.
Now is the time. Stare at the screen.
He's a Lyndon B. Johnson.
Amazing.
Oh, God. Of course it is.
Lyndon Baines Johnson. I don't know what the B stands for.
Yeah, and they're probably here because I got added to a Twitch streamers list from somebody with a pretty high following that just promotes people streaming on Twitch. So they're probably here because of that. Not that big of a deal.
Yeah. So
why are our faces on stream now?
I mean, more viewers is better for the algorithm. I don't care what they're doing. As long as they're straight up stream sniping us, then I don't really give a shit.
Is it like, well, at least like now we know why they never comment. It's because they literally don't.
Yeah, it's because you're not listening. Yeah.
It's a robot.
Yeah, exactly, Larry. Bot pussy is still pussy.
I think we still need a few more generations of systems.
Generation 3 synths are what we're looking for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. As long as they don't go crazy and murder.
Yeah, I want some Ex Machina type shit that won't kill me.
I have to ask, why didn't we do any articles this time?
Oh, we have articles. We're just bullshitting.
Yeah, because articles haven't come up yet. Skull, do you know why the articles exist?
Information? News?
They're jumping.
The articles exist for if we don't have something to talk about. But we've been having a good time just chatting, so we haven't released the articles yet.
The conversation thus far is not enough for us to resort to.
Yeah.
Well, I missed a good part of the stream, so I'm sorry.
There are a couple articles I'd like to go over, but you know, they can wait till next week if it comes down to it.
Talking about Star Trek.
Yeah,
I missed that part.
We could go back to talking about Star Trek for all I care.
Okay, why do you think Star Trek is better than Star Wars?
Hey, that wasn't the conversation.
I don't. That's not fair. That's not a fair argument because they're two different things.
Yeah.
Like, I will say, like, me personally, I'm a bigger Star Trek fan than I am a Star Wars fan. But yeah, they're entirely different.
It's the difference between post-scarcity science fiction and science fantasy.
No, they're not, Larry. They don't be shit now, but they weren't before.
Yeah.
I do have to ask one question.
Shut your whore mouth, Larry.
I do have to ask one question about Star Wars and Star Trek. What if Star Wars was a TV show and Star Trek was the movie series?
Have you ever heard of The Mandalorian?
Star Wars is already a TV show and Star Trek is out a movie series.
Yeah,
to begin with.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
Then it would be different than what it is now, and we can't determine based on what that is.
Well, would you like it more?
Yeah, we don't know because it would depend on the writing.
The Star Wars film, it's great.
Because, like, in total, like, you know, you have the 9 films of the trilogies, and then you have Rogue One, which I liked. I have problems with.
I liked it.
You have Solo, which no one fucking saw. And so that's 11 Star Wars, like official Star Wars.
Yeah,
and then for Star Trek,
15 Star Trek.
Well, like Star Trek, you have the 6 original series, which I have in a VHS box set somewhere.
And then there's an extra 3 TNG series.
Then there's the 3 TNG movies. And then you have, you know, the fucking the JJ Abrams. There's 3 of them.
Oh.
So actually, like, no, 6 plus 3 plus. There's 12 Star Trek. So they're only ahead of Star Wars by 1. But Star Wars has been making more movies in recent years.
Yeah.
There are 13 Star Trek films because there are 4 of the fucking Next Generation.
I was about to say
Generations. Yeah, because it's Generation, First Contact, Insurrection, and Nemesis.
Because I remember there being more than just 12.
Yeah, there's
Nemesis is the best out of that group, in my opinion.
You just like the fact that Data died.
A little better.
Huh?
And I'm of the opinion that Generations is not nearly as bad as people say it is.
I'm in agreement with you on that, but it's still like Nemesis.
The one thing that I hope we can agree on is Insurrection is dumb shit. God, I hate that movie.
Yeah,
people are like, oh yeah, like fucking Star Trek V was the worst Star Trek movie. Fuck you, no, it wasn't. You
Which
haven't
one's
seen
Insurrection again?
Wasn't V Wrath of Khan?
Yeah.
No, that was Star Trek 2.
Okay, sorry. What was
Star Trek V was the Final Frontier. That's the one.
Okay, then which one was the Borg?
Wait, sorry. Go back.
Star Trek V was the Final Frontier. That was the one that was. It was the only one that was ever directed by William Shatner. They never let him direct again. But that was the one where they basically took a starship to the center of the galaxy to find.
Okay, before I have to bounce.
Starship, is that where that quote comes from?
Yeah, that's the movie that comes from.
Before I have to go, sir, which one was the one with the Borgs then?
That was First Contact.
Okay.
First Contact.
It was the second of the Next Generation movie.
Okay.
It was also pretty heavy in Nemesis.
The Borg.
Well, I have to get going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Take care, guys.
Later.
See ya.
I kind of wanna pick up DS9, start that over.
Yeah, DS9 is great.
When I was a kid, I hated DS9 because it was too much not like the other ones. But as I got older, I'm like, this is more realistic. Holy fuck!
I haven't delved too much into DS9, so I should probably do that.
Yeah, like Deep Space Nine is basically like it takes a look like basically like behind the curtain, like what is actually required to keep a galaxy-spanning federation of different species running.
Yeah, before it was, hey, this is the flagship, so it's mostly political stuff and like stuff that involves not combat. There is a little combat here and there, but mostly politics and showboating and stuff. DS9's like yeah, no, this is what you do. This is what you do when you need to get the shit done.
Yeah, like Deep Space Nine gets down into like the dirty, like ethically questionable shit that you actually have to do to keep people safe. And that's why I've
watched DS9 then.
That's why I've argued that the Deep Space Nine episode in the Pale Moon Light is one of the best episodes of television ever written.
What was that one?
In the Pale Moon Light is when Sisko is basically giving his account on how they got the Romulans into the Dominion War.
Into where?
Into the Dominion War.
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember that.
That episode is excellent.
That sounds super interesting.
Yeah, no, DS9 is great.
They had to do some really fucked up, shady shit to get the Romulans on their side of it. Because the Romulans were just content to sit it out.
Well, Enterprise runs primarily in the neutral zone, so it's Deep Space Nine actually is. We're just gonna launch you out there and just do things, right?
As
Romulans are weird. Romulans are weird in that they're isolationist, and yet they very much are of the mindset of conquest.
Yeah.
Oh, like the Britons.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of supremacist ideology and shit that happens with the Romulans.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Deep Space Nine is much more focused on telling like a central story about like one place and like one cast of characters as opposed to like the weird shit that TNG was sort of known for.
Hold on, Mickey. Newer generations are getting Star Wars exposure. Sure. True Star Trek exposure? No.
No. And if we're talking about, newer generations, like, I would not show newer generations sequel trilogy. Fuck.
Enterprise was okay at best.
The thing is that Enterprise didn't really have enough time to get to be what it should have been.
Yeah, it started to in that last season.
Well, I've seen the last 2 seasons. We really got to see the potential that show had, but then it got canceled.
Yeah. Well, no, I didn't like the entire framing of general. It had so much more potential than the writers actually gave.
Yeah. Yeah, like there was like a fledgling federation where we're new to the stars and we have the lowest tank compared to everybody else. Like our ships don't even have proper fucking shielding yet. Like that's a cool fucking concept to work with.
We use hull plate armor. We don't. Yeah. We can only create shields strong enough to deflect shit coming in. We can't prevent weapons damage with any sort of shield, so we have to rely on hull plating.
When you see the fucking like I will give Enterprise credit in like how brutal it was willing to get. Like when you see like the fucking Enterprise take a fucking torpedo hit, it blows a huge hole in the ship, and you just see people being flung out into space. It's like Jesus shit.
And they actually count how many people are left on the ship too.
Hold on. I have to address this. Mickey, have you not heard us praising the Next Generation this entire fucking show?
No one's got a problem with the Next Generation here. Granted, the first season wasn't very good.
He's asking us if we watched it yet. Are you fucking kidding me?
I say, like, granted, the first season wasn't very good, but like once TNG hit its stride, it was great.
Once TNG had Riker with a beard, it was great.
So season 3.
Like I would, and some people hotly contest. Like I would argue that the Next Generation is, as a series, it's better overall than the original. It just is. Granted, like the original series is more campy because it's kind of a product of its time, but
the original has its place, but Next Generation really brought the Gene Roddenberry idea to fruition.
People call me pretentious, but like the Next Generation is a more cerebral show. The original series, it makes you think.
Yeah, TNG is definitely more cerebral, whereas
the original is
TOS was definitely a romp through the galaxy with some moral choices, but mostly it's Kirk fighting things and getting half naked.
No, I like TNG because it's Picard constantly playing chess, and I love that. He's trying to find the best solution without any sort of
with the least amount of violence possible.
Yeah,
which is why Star Trek Picard is so
damn. I have not watched Picard.
Nor have I.
They ruin him.
I saw a thing.
Is he super violent in it?
No, he's just
he's the antithesis of TNG Picard.
Man who is constantly getting shit on and apologizing.
Yeah, he's the antithesis of TNG Picard. Like, I watched a YouTube video where they put TNG Picard's values up and then showed Star Trek Picard's Picard completely disregarding every last second of it.
Yeah, like the best way I can describe Picard and Star Trek Picard is fucking spineless.
Nothing like his former self.
TNG Picard is the definition of stoicism.
Yeah.
Loving, caring, but also harsh when needed. And he's the type of person you want to sit and have a glass of scotch and then just like talk about things.
Yeah. Whereas in Star Trek Picard, he's just a fucking.
I fucking hate that. I'm about to rage flip this table. Like
it's fucking.
If that's the fucking case, like.
And they improved it for a second season. I guess CBS just doesn't give a fuck.
You know, to be fair, I should probably watch it before I hate on it. But based on, I respect both of your opinions, so I probably might have read it entirely.
I said, like that's the biggest sin of Star Trek Picard to me is that Picard is not fucking Picard anymore.
Yeah.
He's an entirely different character.
Yeah, in that video I just shared, and I'll share it in the chat too. But the video I just shared is explaining exactly that by using Star Trek Picard versus Star Trek: The Next Generation Picard.
Yeah, he's a very stoic man that's in control under pressure. It's not that.
No, he's not that at all. He doesn't take charge of anything. He lets everybody else basically just order him around and shame him.
No, that's fucking wrong. That's fucking wrong, period.
He's also the exact opposite. He's also the exact opposite of every one of his values in The Next Generation.
His whole thing in TNG was, I demand respect, but I still respect you.
There is literally a scene in this show where this bitchy female admiral just like is talking to Picard and she's just like, shut the fuck up, and he takes it.
No, he wouldn't do that.
Also, why do we have to use
TNG Picard wouldn't do that. He would say, no, we need to talk. Period.
TNG had strong women in it too, like strong admirals that he had to answer to, who got on his case, and he knew when to be like, okay, I'm in the wrong here, and when to be like, okay, we need to deal with this on a different level because you're wrong.
Yeah, a lot of my values are from watching TNG. It's all about, try to find the best way to find the simplest solution that works for everybody, find compromises, and avoid violence unless absolutely necessary, but be willing to discuss things with anybody. And that's a lot of my personal principle.
Yeah, like if you get a chance, watch that video that Rimshee linked. You will be appalled.
That goes for everyone who likes Star Trek.
What they did to him.
Mickey, you should watch it. Like it's horrendous.
Okay. If you want to call Picard from the new series a simp, go for it. I don't fucking watch the show yet, but do not call TNG Picard a simp, because he is not.
Honestly, they say this is. They say that
Picard was fucking stud, man.
Honestly, they say that Star Trek Picard is original timeline Picard. There's no way in hell. No way in hell.
Like, he's much more in tune with like that alternate version of himself that he saw in that like alternate dimension that Q came up with where he didn't get stabbed.
Mm.
He's much more like that, except even more.
He's like the non-go getter, except he's somehow still made captain on the Enterprise.
He made captain on the Enterprise because he cared, and he's a thoughtful, calculated person.
Yeah, in TNG, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
honestly, Star Trek Picard has to be from an alternate timeline. It may not be from the Kelvin timeline, but it has to be from an alternate timeline of some sort.
Because the amount of times in this show that he lets people like undermine him, insult him, or just outright humiliate him, it's like, who the fuck are you?
There were a couple times in TNG where he let people undermine him, but it was to prove a point because he knew that undermining him wasn't going to cause that big of an issue, but it was going to cause enough of an issue to prove a point.
But it was an active choice at the same time.
Yeah. As
opposed to, okay, boss, effectively.
Yeah. Like, it's not some man who's just like, oh, I'm such a fuck up. I fucked everything up. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
Picard's an expert strategist. What the fuck?
Yeah,
people. A lot of people that don't like TNG because there's not enough action. It's because Picard always went towards violence is the final thing. After you exhausted all other options, then violence.
Yeah, and that's one of the values I have. I spent time in the Marine Corps, and that's still one of my values.
The thing is, like,
yeah, that's one of my values.
You can actually explain, like, Kirk's actions were just a product of his time for the most part, because, like, the Klingons and the Romulans were much more overtly hostile at the time than they are in the Next Generation. Like, the peace treaty between the Federation and Klingons didn't fucking exist.
No, it was just shy of open hostile war.
Actually, it's pretty much explained kind of in the lore for the original series that the time that Kirk is flying around the galaxy, they've just recently come off a very bitter and bloody war between the Federation and the Klingon.
Yeah. And it's before another one, if I remember right.
Okay. So Larry is saying it's either that or they didn't have the budget to shoot action scenes. Sure, that's fine, but that's why they built a great character. We're not building lore. We're talking about a character trait. And they created that character trait maybe out of necessity from the lack of budget to build action scenes. But it's like it is a legitimate character trait.
And they guarantee you they ended up having more budget later on. They still didn't go with like big ass fight scenes every episode because they had the characters established.
Hell, they didn't even get that in the original series.
Yeah.
Not every episode had fucking space battles or like ground. This is not how it was.
No, the original series in TNG were all about negotiations and using violence as a final answer.
But even so, the main difference is that the original series went to violence more often.
The original series went to violence more often, but it mostly went to on-planet violence more often, or somebody invading the ship violence.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Mickey, I
feel like that's greatly understated. The Next Generation.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Mickey's comment. I think TNG is a space drama for the most part. Lots of dialogue, lots of life lessons. The perfect after-school show. No, that is underselling it a lot.
Yeah.
That's it. It's lots of life lessons, sure.
To be fair, like with the current crop of writers and like mentalities we have in Hollywood, I don't know when the next time that we'll see a show like The Next Generation.
We sound like Larry arguing weeb shit. Yeah, it's.
I don't care, man. I'm passionate about this shit. I loved fucking Star Trek, and to see what they've done to it in the last 10 years is, oh man.
We should do some sort of marathon with like DS9 or TNG some night.
Yeah,
I would fucking love that because I haven't seen either in quite some time.
I don't know if Rimshee'd be down. My internet's not
I
fast
would
enough for me to
absolutely
stream
be
it to
down.
Discord.
I would absolutely be down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know they're both.
We can make a fucking night of it, man. I'd be there. I feel like Presidente's just completely given up at this point. It's just like, nah, I'm good. I'll let y'all push.
No,
I just like listening.
Yeah, he's too Mexican to know about Star Trek.
We're just catching on to Baywatch and Miami Vice, guys. Give us a few years, please.
I think there's 7 seasons of TNG, Mickey.
The only reason they stopped it was because they wanted to go to movies, which I think was a huge mistake.
I enjoy most of the movies.
Yeah, but I just mean ending the show to have the movies.
Yeah, but like because of SAG, like everybody that was a regular on the show, their salaries constantly increase. And so that's another issue that you run into with running a show for too long. And I don't know, there comes a time when you just need to end a show.
Yeah, eventually it's just run its course. But yeah, like I said, I personally like Star Trek Generations. I don't think it's as bad as people said it was. I thought that the dialogue and conversations between Picard and Pope were great. Mm-hmm. In fact, those are the highlight of the movie for me. It's just those two talking and like their different perspectives on like being a captain, approaching situations.
Yeah, because it gave you a greater insight onto their whole philosophy of being a captain.
I love, Kirk's, like thing to Picard when he, reveals that he's the captain of the Enterprise. And he's like, have you ever thought about, doing something else? He's like, well, not really. He's like, good. Don't let them transfer you. Don't let them promote. As long as you're on the bridge of that ship, you can make a difference.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was also that was the thing with both Kirk and Picard. Anybody that was on the bridge or in the engineering room, they always took their advice or their disagreements serious and respectful.
And I also love that because in that moment, Kirk is also speaking from his personal experience. It's because Kirk did take the admin position, he did get promoted, and it was one of his biggest fucking regrets.
Yeah. Also, Rimshee, I think you should rename this show to the Star Trek episode.
Yeah.
Mickey, you've never seen any of the original series movies? Really?
Those are movies, not the.
MickieFickie has not seen The Wrath of Khan.
I don't think I've seen any of the original series movies the whole way through on one sitting.
Yeah, but Wrath of Khan especially. That is the most famous original series movie.
It has been a while since I've seen them, so I'll have to rewatch them.
Especially based on the performances of William Shatner and Ricardo Montalban in that movie. Wrath of Khan is one of the greatest science fiction movies ever made.
Yeah, even with the J.J. Abrams reboots, the second one was a remake of Wrath of Khan.
Sort of. A really bad remake of it.
That's debatable, but we're dealing with different timelines, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, and you also have to, another thing. Here's another thing to consider. As I said, the performances of William Shatner and Ricardo Montalban in The Wrath of Khan, fucking amazing. And it's even more amazing when you find out that they were never on set together during the that was just purely their acting. That is fucking great.
Yeah.
Shatner gets a lot of shit, but he is a much better actor than people give him credit.
Oh, absolutely. He's a fantastic actor. The only reason he started doing that overacting shit was to actually bring people into a play. It was a choice he made, and it became a standard for his acting career. But it worked.
Another thing is that a lot of those weird pauses or things that people point out. It's Shatner is a classically trained Shakespearean actor.
No, he's not. His pauses were because he was constantly forgetting his lines. He self-admitted that.
Well, I mean, yeah, even still.
Shatner?
Yeah. No, honestly, Shatner's best role was Denny Crane in Boston League.
Wasn't he in The West Wing too?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen The West Wing. But Shatner's role in Boston Legal, his best role.
I said he's better than people do. That was
okay. Yeah, that's fair.
He's got to roll with the Michael Myers mask.
Yeah. Yeah, Shaggy, you get it.
People don't know that.
Yeah. For those of you that don't know, the Michael Myers mask in Halloween is a William Shatner mask that they spray painted white.
Another one for people that don't know anyway. Hold on, I have to look it up real quick. Yeah, there's a 1962 film called The Intruder that was starring William Shatner. And basically, Shatner in this movie is playing an extremely racist, I think it's a Southern lawyer who's fighting against desegregation. And he is fucking chilling.
Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back.
So, what are your thoughts on Voyager?
Let me rephrase that. Keep talking. I'll be right back.
Since we're on the subject of Star Trek, what are your thoughts on Voyager?
Voyager's complicated.
I don't disagree. Like, I liked it as a show, but it definitely missed a lot of its potential.
Like, for me, like, my biggest gripe with Voyager, and it's the one thing that I will never forgive, is that Voyager ruined the fucking...
Ruined who?
The Borg.
It overplayed them, yeah. It absolutely did. They became a recurring villain, like every other episode was. The Borg is the villain!
Like, that's how I said, like, they ruined the Borg. Because in the Next Generation, like, the Borg are this overwhelming fucking threat.
One Borg cube practically took out the entirety of the Federation fleet.
Yeah, like the Battle of Wolf 359.
Yeah.
40 Federation starships are sent to intercept a single Borg cube, and out of those 40 ships, 39 of them are destroyed.
Unrecoverable.
And the only ship that wasn't destroyed utterly couldn't be salvaged.
Yeah.
It was damaged beyond repair. And like even in First Contact, like with brand new starships that are designed specifically because like after the Borg and especially the Dominion War and Deep Space Nine, like the Federation went on a massive modernization spree. And like a lot of brand new designs built specifically for combat started. You know, like the Defiant class, the
Defiant's a crazy one. Like that was the first true Federation warship in a long time, and it was mothballed because of issues.
Like the Defiant was built for no other reason than to be a fucking sledgehammer
against the Borg.
And I said, you know, like even like ships that weren't like designed specifically for combat, like had much heavier armaments and protection than they did previously. Like look at the Sovereign, the Enterprise.
Yeah, the Sovereign was the Enterprise D.
Huh?
The Enterprise D, yeah.
No, the Enterprise E.
Sorry, yeah, you're right. Enterprise D was the Galaxy class.
Yeah. Which, don't get me wrong, you don't fuck around with the Galaxy class. The Galaxy class had a lot of firepower for a ship of its era.
Oh, yeah.
But that was because it was meant to go on really, really deep space missions by itself for extended periods of time.
And it was mostly for diplomatic purposes, too. Not necessarily for combat, but they knew if it's going to be that far out there, it needed to be well enough shielded and well enough armed that it could hold its own.
Yeah, like the standard complement for like a Galaxy class was like 250 photon torpedoes.
Yeah.
That's quite a bit of firepower for a diplomatic and exploratory vessel.
Yeah, one of the reasons...
Which is why in Deep Space Nine, during the Dominion War, the fucking Galaxies formed like the vanguard of the Federation fleets. They organized them in galaxies because they had the most firepower of any ship in the fleet at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Galaxy class is a badass ship. Fucking love
Galaxy
class. But the Sovereign class just took it up a whole new notch. Because like you've got ablative armor from the Defiant on there, you've got regenerating shields, you've got two, I think, quantum torpedo launchers that are rapid fire.
Which I'm not even sure how that fucking works, but okay.
Well, yeah, you see it in you especially see it in Star Trek Nemesis, where the Enterprise E is just hammering on the scimitar with fucking quantums.
Yeah. Like you said, the Galaxy class was no slob, and the Sovereign class was a step above that.
Yeah, like this was meant to be like the Sovereign was designed from the outset to be the new flagship of the Federation fleet. Like this was like the benchmark. Like nobody was going to be able to fuck with this ship one-on-one and come out of it.
Except maybe the Borg.
And even then, like when the fucking Enterprise E, granted that Borg cube had suffered quite a bit of damage before then because of Star Trek's newer ships and improved tactics. Also, fun little note, in the Battle of Sector 001 in Star Trek First Contact, it's very brief, like blink and you miss it, but if you pause it at the right time, you can see the Millennium Falcon among the Federation ships fighting the Borg cube.
Just a little nod.
But yeah, like when the Enterprise E showed, and like because Picard had, like some knowledge pertaining to the Borg and was like kind of still connected to the collective. Yeah, the Enterprise E fucked that cube up. But like the Scimitar was just like this fucking monstrous Franken ship that like no expense was spared on.
No expense was spared and nothing was left off, and every design concept was added on in order to make it just the killing machine.
Yeah, like this thing, like like when they're first describing it, for one, it can fire while cloaked, which we hadn't seen since that prototype bird of prey in Star Trek VI, The Undiscovered Country. But not only could it fire while cloaked, it could maintain its shields while doing it.
Yeah.
And like when they're scanning it, like Geordi's like, she's got 52 disruptor banks and 27 photon torpedo tubes.
That's just the launchers.
And as Picard states, like, she's a predator.
A better way of describing her.
And the only way that they were finally able to disable it was fucking Shinzon got cocky and Picard shoved the Enterprise down his fucking throat.
And Data jumped and flew all the way over to the other ship.
Well, that was after Picard teleported.
Yeah, that was after everything, but still, that's the only reason they were able to truly succeed.
Yeah, because like after that little stunt, like even Shinzon's like helm officer is just like, yeah, all of our fucking disruptors and shit are inoperable. That kind of fucked us up.
Yeah, but it was still a setup where it was like, yeah, they'll be able to repair and destroy us if we don't destroy it.
And that's when Shinzon just decided, fuck it, use the radiation.
Yeah. I don't know what else to say to that. Or about that.
Would you like to hear my complaint about Voyager?
Sure.
What they did to my boy Tom Paris was a hate crime. That first season of Voyager, Tom Paris was a completely different character than all the other seasons that follow. He was a confident man. He was fucking everything with 2 legs and a vagina. He tried to hit B'Elanna Torres when she was split between a human being and a Klingon. He was on top of his game. And then the very next season, they turned him into a goofus, and he never recovered.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, my boy Tom Paris.
Boy would have made
too good for that show. Tom Paris was pimping his ass across multiple quadrants. And they took that away from all of us. They took it from you. It could have been something amazing. It could have been something that everybody had wanted to see for years. A confident man somewhere in the command structure of a fucking Starfleet vessel that was also a piece of shit.
You go ahead, Mickey. Like, watch the Wrath of Khan. I would actually say, people have mixed opinions on some of the entries, but like, watch all of them.
Yeah, like they said, the quality kind of jumps a movie. Like 1's good, 2's crap, 3's good, 4's kind of crap, 5's also kind of crap.
No. You have that first. People say that 1 is a boring. I personally think it's not that terrible. 2 is Wrath of Khan. 2 is fucking fantastic. Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock, is still a fantastic movie, in my opinion. Star Trek 4, I like Star Trek 4 quite a bit. Like, even with all like the kind of like environmental, like save the whales message that kind of comes through in the movie, but whatever. I like the concept of the movie. Star Trek 5 is hard to sit through. Again, it's not as bad as Insurrection, but it's easily the worst of the original series movies. And Star Trek 6 is great. Like, it's the best movie after Han for me. I love Undiscovered Country.
And that's the sum total of my knowledge of Star Trek and its inner workings beyond just what I've seen on TV.
Yeah. Well, since we're on this subject of Star Trek, should we talk at all about oh shit, I suddenly can't remember its name. It's practically
I'm not saying that the actors in those movies were bad, Mickey. I actually thought that the casting for the J.J. Abrams movies was pretty good for the most part. Carl Urban as Bones is actually surprising, dude. Even if he is kind of just playing a caricature of Forrest Kelly, but that's besides the point. It's the writing of the J.J. Abrams Star Trek movies that I have a problem.
Also, I really have to address this for people that watch the VOD of YouTube, all 3 of you. Shaggy, Jeff Ross, there's allegations against him, but there's no evidence. It's all he said, she said. So it's very difficult to prove anything. So stop trying to spread that like it's a fact that he's a pedo.
Who's a pedo?
Jeff Ross. Allegedly.
What? Okay. I'll just accept that there's an allegation and we'll move on.
Well, let's move on. And hey, should we talk about the Orville at all?
No. Absolutely not.
So, who cares what you have to say, El Presidente?
Well, here's the thing I was going to point out earlier when you guys were talking about Lower Decks. They're basically trying to cop the idea of what the Orville is and try to turn it into like something that's also a crossover to the Rick and Morty fan base. And I don't think either one of those are going to work.
No, first season of the Orville was a lot more comedy, a lot less serious. But as they started continuing, it got more serious, and it's actually becoming I feel like a much better successor to the Star Trek name than Discovery ever was.
Well, the thing is that
no, Orville is good. It's just good, Mickey. Watch it.
Yeah, I don't give Seth MacFarlane a lot of credit, but when you watch the Orville, you can tell that Seth is a fan and that he cares.
Yeah, well, Seth MacFarlane has been trying to either direct a Star Trek film or a series for a long time. So he's just like, fuck it, I'll make a parody series.
Yeah.
And then it turned out more popular.
That Orville is the best parody of Star Trek since fucking Galaxy.
That's pretty high praise, because Galaxy Quest is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Galaxy Quest is fucking amazing.
Yeah, well, okay. To put it into perspective, I would rate Star Trek, the original series, and Galaxy Quest about on par with each other. They're definitely different, but they're about on par as to how much I enjoy that they exist and watching them. And the Orville is at least on par with Galaxy Quest, in my opinion. I don't know if this silence is disagreement or agreement.
No, hold on. Ted just threw me off with his question. Depends on the size of the tortilla, my dude. Hey, Ed.
Are you doing a shit?
Yeah, we're still on the show.
It's really cool here for a while, hasn't it?
Pop in, and you guys are talking about Star Trek, and then I saw Jem and Whitey were doing something, so I left and went and talked to them. And now I'm back, and I pop in, and there's no talking.
None.
You just
don't think you get to call this a show anymore.
Hey, you came in on a lull. It's your own fucking.
Have you ever seen
one of the only dead air moments we've had? So.
I don't believe you at all.
Okay.
I'm gonna go watch the tape.
This episode is nothing but quality content. How dare you?
We've been able to, almost without pause for over 2 hours.
And
Almost
we
like
haven't even gone to an article.
No, we haven't.
Oh, let's do articles now that I'm here.
No, how did you fed?
Yeah, we're gonna do articles now, everybody. I'm the show.
Talking about important shit. Talking about
what? You're still talking about Star Trek? Holy shit!
We're still talking about Star Trek.
Holy shit!
What do you mean? What do you mean by being surprised by that?
We had to argue about that, and now we delved right back in.
Nerds everywhere. There's nerds everywhere.
You're such a fucking Chad, Ed. I totally get it. You're such a Chad. Can't deal with discussion about a thing.
Yeah, he's such a Chad. He has to use inflatable Barbara.
You can't just make things up. Like that would only be biting if it was even remotely true.
That the writing of shows like Next Generation too fucking smart for you, but that's a personal problem that you have to address.
I didn't pay attention to any of that. What are we doing? We're gonna do articles?
Sure.
No, we're not gonna do articles. I won't let you lead this.
What if I talk about Star Trek, except since I know nothing about it, I just make things up?
We'll call you out on it.
You're wrong, but you can try.
You would be about on par with the current writers of Star Trek Discovery.
Remember when the Romulans kidnapped Captain Janeway and took her to Kirk's fuck palace?
Yes.
Okay, I thought you weren't going to go along with it.
Storyline that actually
exactly. See what I was thinking.
That sounds like a fucking. That sounds like a fucking fanfic if I ever heard one.
I could probably accidentally get a plot right.
Remember that episode of Voyager where like Janeway wanted to lizards and like had eggs?
Yeah, they have nearly 70. They have nearly 70 years of constant shows going on.
Right.
Going to accidentally stumble upon a storyline.
Like that's less weird than the storyline that Scooter just mentioned.
Scooter.
Yeah, like that was an actual episode of Voyager.
Yeah,
the one where the rape dungeon was.
No. Tom Paris and Janeway to get turned into slug monsters and have sex on a planet and lay eggs and then get turned back into humans.
Do you remember that episode when there were just some weird worms that crawled into people's heads and took over their bodies?
I do remember that episode.
Yeah, it made me terrified of earwigs.
Granted, like that started back with fucking Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
Which, like, my mother would not let me watch that scene in Wrath of Khan for the longest time when I was a small child. And like when I first saw it, like I saw it myself for the first time. I'm like, oh damn! Oh, that's fucked up. That's a really unpleasant scene to watch.
My parents were super. My parents would let me watch things that I probably shouldn't have been watching anyway, like Poltergeist. But then when that scene where the guy peels his fucking face off, I wasn't allowed to see that scene. Or Batman, I wasn't allowed to see the electrifying scene where the Joker electrocutes a guy with his hand buzzer. Even though it was really obvious what was going on.
I wasn't allowed to watch Scooby-Doo as a kid. But
I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons.
I was watching Raiders of the Lost Ark and everybody melting That was totally fine.
Okay,
Like
so
my dad and my
at
mom
home,
went to church.
I was smelting Nazis.
At home,
Apparently
I
some
wasn't allowed to
church
watch
fuck-
a lot of stuff, but the moment I'd go over to my aunt and uncle's place, oh, everything was on the table. I remember watching Austin Powers, Jurassic Park.
Yeah. Yeah, we always got away with something. Like, I went to see the movie Leprechaun with a friend whose mom took him and didn't even ask my parents, just went. And they would never have let me watch that. And I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons for the longest time because my dad heard from church that it was anti-church. But then my dad watched it, and he was like, "No, you can watch this. They're a bunch of assholes."
No,
It's not that bad.
I wasn't allowed to watch The Simpsons because the children were brats. Same reason why I wasn't allowed to watch
that was a big thing too. And my dad, that was part of the reason, and then also the Ned Flanders character. But then my dad saw what Bart Simpson really was, and he was like, "This is like the kind of bad that kids were in the 50s. This is nothing compared to what my kid already does."
Just a harmless punk ass kid.
He was like, if my kid starts writing El Barto on walls and shit, it'll be a step up from all the shit he gets into already.
Yeah. Like, if I wasn't allowed to read Goosebumps either because all the kids were fucking assholes in those. And my parents were just like, hey, I don't want you to be an asshole.
Kids were assholes? That's the reason? Don't read that. The kids in this book are assholes.
Their behaviors. Yeah.
You know, if it were just the horror story stuff, that's fine. But the kids are fucking dicks. So don't read this. You'll be a dick if you read this.
Well, I wasn't allowed to watch Scooby-Doo because my mom thought it would scare me. Even though the whole point of Scooby-Doo is that
it's funny.
No,
Scooby-Doo even has a laugh track.
Monsters aren't real.
Yeah, but it's also like it's a blatant. It's such a comedy that it has a laugh track.
Yeah, like one of Scooby-Doo's main things is like conquering your fears.
Scooby-Doo sucks. Though. I always hated that show.
Modern Scooby-Doo sucks.
Well, I wouldn't watch it because I'm an adult. Like, I don't know what's going. I don't know what kid stuff is like.
I don't see the first live action Scooby-Doo, and when the pot joke started, it was kind of I laughed my ass off, and my kid's like, "Huh? Well, I don't get it." Oh, good, you don't. You shouldn't get it.
The best thing that I can say.
That's one of those jokes that's thrown in for the parents so that they can stand over.
The best thing that I can say about the first is that Velma's fucking hot.
Oh yeah,
the Freaks and Geeks girl.
Yeah,
right now she's in a Netflix show with Christina Applegate.
Thank you for knowing about Freaks and Geeks.
You know, Linda Cardellini.
She's so hot. Mm-hmm.
My sister got into a Linda Cardellini kick when, shortly after she ended up riding home with Linda Cardellini in the passenger seat, being driven home by one of her friends' parents. So she went on a huge Linda Cardellini kick and just watched everything with her in it that she could.
Yeah, so that'd be Freaks and Geeks, Scooby-Doo.
This was before Scooby-Doo, and then when it was right before Scooby-Doo. So when Scooby-Doo came out, it was let's go watch this.
It's so weird though, because she doesn't look like Thelma at all, obviously. So it's like so weird because I looked up a picture. She's got that low cut. You can see the cleavage shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's Velma's thick. I actually had a different story I wanted to tell you guys when I came in here. Thanks for letting me in.
Oh,
you wanted to change the subject entirely and take control over the show? Is that one?
No, I didn't. I don't do what you do, Ed. Yeah, just it's a relatable story.
Yeah, you don't do what I do. Don't you
You're
ever
right.
act like you do, motherfucker.
Okay, kiss my ass. Yeah.
You can never do what I do, you bitch.
Fuck you.
All right, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So my grandmother raised me from about 6 years old until about 15 years old, and she unfortunately caught the satanic panic vibe from when we were heavy into church and stuff, but she was also sort of all over the place with my upbringing and my abuser, I might add. So one of the things that she said I wasn't allowed to watch was Care Bears, because she thought they were of the devil, of course.
My dad thought it was gay propaganda.
The Care Bears shot rainbows out their ass. Of course it's from the devil.
Sure. But the problem with that position is that down the road, when she discovered that I was starting to get a little boy crazy and bringing boyfriends over, her solution for training me to be aware of not becoming a promiscuous whore was to make sure that I watched a movie called The Accused. That was with Jodie Foster, and there was a very graphic gang rape scene in that film, and that is exactly her words. She made me watch this, right?
This is what she's like, all boys do.
This is what happens when girls are slut. That's what she said to me.
Well, to be fair, that's the easiest way to get that done to you.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Well, the easiest way to get that done to you is go sign up for a group, and they all agree on the safe word, and at some point they come break into your house, and it's all a good time.
Exactly. Yeah, that's consensual though.
Oh, Jesus. I'm just saying, my grandmother was all over the place, but we weren't allowed to watch certain shows like
Women Raising Women. What a shit show.
That's a mistake.
Too much silence. It's making me nervous. I hate the silence.
No, it's not their silence. So Nick is live right now.
All right. I'll prep the raid.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in the call-ins.
Just stick in for the raid.
For the raid. Oh.
Yep.
I'm still gonna be there.
Do that one, yeah. Go ahead and do that. Yeah. I can watch it. Anyways, everybody, thanks for hopping in. Thanks for joining. Thank you, Mickey, for your donations. And I really don't know what else to say.
If you were here for articles, I'm sorry, but I'm really.
We'll read them next week. Fuck you, El Presidente.
All of the articles that we had set up this week, we will read next week.
Yeah. And we got some good ones in there, too. I just gotta wait for... there we go. Okay, cool.
Yeah, we kind of met the title a bit. People had to strap in for this one.
What the fuck is
well, we changed the title to the Star Wars episode and other stuff.
Star Wars.
Or some...
Don't worry about it. Fucking talk about Star Wars. I mean, we kind of did, barely.
Yeah, because we fucking had that part.
All right, we just raided. Have a good night, everyone.
Shut up, you nerd.
Oh, shit. I forgot stuff. Oh, well.
What did you forget?